It was a bit of a splurge. I wasn't really sure if I could afford it, but I just knew that this was the car that I wanted. And I finally decided to bite the bullet and get one for myself. 2 years and 20,000 miles ago, I bought a Tesla. I've worked out of it, I've driven all across France in it, I've scuffed the alloys, I've run out of battery, but was it worth it? 2 years on, do I regret it? Or am I pleased with the decision that I made? Well, today I'm going to share with you all my thoughts, both positive and negative, about the Tesla Model 3 performance. And hopefully it'll be of benefit to any of you who are thinking about getting one, but you're just not sure. So hit a like, subscribe, and let's get into it. So we're on a bit of a road trip today. We're doing quite a few electric vehicle charging point surveys. I just thought it'd be good to take the opportunity to talk through all the things that I love about this car and all the things that I hate about this car. So this is the Tesla Model 3 Performance, and one of the things I love about it is the acceleration. It's just insane. 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. It makes people smile every single time you put your foot down. It just takes people by surprise. And I chose the performance model for that. I know that you pay a premium for it, but I just felt like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go all in and go for the top of the line. And I'm glad that I did, because it just adds that extra element of fun to it. And for me, just sharing with people the sheer power of an electric vehicle, it is a joy to be able to do that. Put your foot down, not even full blast, every so often, and it just throws people into the back of their seats and they're like, wow, I didn't expect that. It really is a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's one of the things I love about this car. One of the things I love about this car is autopilot. It just drives itself. I mean, it is amazing. I was really skeptical about autopilot at first because I just didn't understand how it could possibly work like it does, but it just works. And every time there's an over-the-air update, it gets better. It is absolutely insane how good it is. It's not really a gimmick, but it's another kind of gimmicky thing that just really blows people's minds when you show them. The fact that it doesn't just slow down and speed up itself, but it steers itself, you know, and it's very, very accurate. There are some things that annoy me about autopilot as well, because there are these weird moments where it goes a bit nuts and like does phantom braking and stuff like that for no reason, or it tries to like steer, you know, out of the way of something that you don't think exists. But in general, a lot of those issues now with the over-the-air updates have kind of disappeared. And in a situation like this where you're just in traffic, it makes driving so much more relaxing. You don't have to put your feet on the pedals, you don't have to steer. All you do is sit back and relax, and the car does the job for you. It just starts speeding up again as the car in front moves forward. Obviously I have to keep my hand on the wheel just in case. Just give it a little nudge every so often just to make sure the car knows that I'm still actually awake and still alive. But it does make driving so much more relaxing. Autopilot makes driving an absolute breeze. You know, driving's quite a tiring thing actually, whereas when you've got autopilot on, your brain can kind of switch off a little bit and you can just enjoy talking to the person that you're with in the car, or listening to some music or a podcast or whatever, and you can kind of just sit back and relax and let the car do the hard work for you, which is absolutely amazing. So one thing about autopilot is that it doesn't do roundabouts yet, so you do have to still engage your brain when you get to a roundabout. I have tried it, to be honest, on a roundabout, and sometimes it kind of manages, but I think it's not really set up to be able to do roundabouts yet. It's just a little bit too risky at the moment. In America though, they're rolling out the full self-driving package in beta format, and some of the stuff that it can do are amazing, like, you know, complicated crossroad junctions and stuff. How it will get on in the British roads with these tiny little narrow lanes and one-way systems and roundabouts, I'm not sure, but to be honest, every time we get an update I'm surprised at what it can do, so I kind of don't have any doubts anymore about the future, that eventually these cars will be able to just drive themselves. That acceleration just never gets boring, and I love the noise it makes. It's just absolutely beautiful. So we're arriving in the beautiful Woburn Sands over near Milton Keynes. We don't usually travel this far, but as the customer, as a YouTube subscriber, and we thought it'd be an interesting project to make a video about, we decided to go that little bit further. But it's a beautiful village. I'm quite intrigued to see what this building's going to be like. Here we go. How exciting. There's this block here. So we're doing a separate video about this because it's quite an interesting situation. I'll leave a link up here where you can watch this video, which is kind of a deep dive about what you need to know in order to get an electric vehicle charging point installed at a block of flats or in a communal car park, because the grant schemes change now. There is grant funding available for people in this situation, but the installs are often really tricky and there's a lot of things to take into consideration. So link up here for that video if you're interested. Now we're heading another hour's drive over to another site visit for a slightly different EV charging install. And on the way, we're going to stop at Tesla Supercharger, and I'm going to talk about some of the other things that I like and don't like about this particular electric vehicle. One little bugbear I have is when it comes to the preconditioning for fast charging. So what it does is when you program to go to a Tesla Supercharger, the car starts to precondition so that when you arrive, the battery is ready to receive a rapid charge of DC power. But it seems to be a little bit random and intermittent how it does it. So like now we're 23 minutes away from the supercharger, but it's already started preconditioning as soon as I programmed it in. Other times I'll program in to go to a supercharger and it won't precondition at all until like 2 minutes before. And then you're like, is it actually preconditioned or not? I don't know how the algorithm works to decide when it should precondition and when it shouldn't, but I just feel like it's a little bit intermittent and random. However, I'm not an expert on it, so if you are, let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. So we're here at the Tesla Supercharger in Y Boston Lakes, and one of the things I love about my Tesla is this. So satisfying. And in fact, the Tesla Supercharger network is one of the amazing perks of owning a Tesla, because there is no other rapid charging network out there that comes anywhere near competing with the Tesla Supercharger network. They are abundant, they're everywhere that you need them to be, and they're really fast. There's plenty of availability, like here we've got 10 stalls or whatever. There's nobody fighting over charging points. You can just rock up, charge up quickly in 20 minutes, turn round and carry on your journey. And I've got thousands of supercharger miles free at the moment as well, which is a nice little perk from the referral program that used to be a thing that's now no longer a thing. But that is one thing I love. But let me tell you a few things that I don't like about this vehicle. One of the things I don't like about my Tesla Model 3 is the panel gaps. Now you might have heard of the famous panel gaps. These Teslas are famous for being poorly built in terms of the actual structure of the vehicle, and there are various panel gaps on here and various paint chips which do kind of annoy me a little bit. But overall, I kind of feel like it's such an amazing vehicle that I kind of don't really care about the panel gaps, but it is something that they could improve. Now, this is a 2020 Tesla Model 3, and I believe that they have improved a lot of things as they've rolled things out. For example, the China factory is producing a lot higher quality vehicles versus the factory in Fremont. I presume that the Berlin Gigafactory is going to be kicking out even higher quality products. But let me know your thoughts about that in the comments. I'd love to know if you have a newer Model 3 that's come out of China, or if you've got a Model Y. Are there any panel gap issues anymore, or is that just a thing of the past? Another thing that's slightly soul destroying about this vehicle as well is that the wheels are so easy to scuff. These beautiful black alloy wheels look amazing when you first get the car, but as soon as you curb it once, all of that aluminium from the wheel is shown and it kind of ruins the look of the wheels. And as you can see from this car, someone in the family is not the best when it comes to curbing the vehicle. Unfortunately, the rims are absolutely shredded, which just kind of makes me die a little bit inside every time I see it, because I loved the look of these wheels so much when I first got it, and now they've just got huge chunks out of them. But it's because the Sport Pilot tyres are so closely profiled to the wheels that there's no kind of play. So rather than the tyre taking a bit of the impact, the wheel just takes the impact, and as soon as you touch that curb, scratch up the wheel rims. So you might have seen with other rapid chargers that they have kind of like contactless payment systems, or you have to sign up and use a special app or whatever, and it's a bit complicated to charge up your vehicle. With the Tesla Superchargers, there are no payment methods in terms of there's no contactless payment thing to swipe or sign up for or anything. It just knows who you are when you plug in your vehicle. With the Tesla app, you've got your card there registered already, and it just automatically charges you for the charging session. Super simple, super stress-free, which is exactly what you want. The other thing about this vehicle, which I love and hate, is the tyres. They've got these beautiful Michelin Pilot Sport tyres, which enable you to really grip to the road and to thrash the vehicle around, and it sticks to the road like glue, but they are super expensive and they wear out really quickly. So I've done less than 20,000 miles, nearly 20,000 miles in this vehicle. I've already had to replace all 4 tyres once, and that cost about 600 quid to replace all the tyres. So something to bear in mind if you're thinking of getting one. Budget in the fact that you will have to change the tyres on a fairly regular basis, and they do cost a small fortune. Now these may just look like ordinary tyres, but they're not. Teslas have special tyres. Inside the tyre, in the lining of the tyre, is some foam, and this helps to quieten the whole driving experience. But it does mean that it's a lot more complicated to fix punctures in these tyres. And I'll leave a link up here to a video where someone hacks one of these open, and you can see exactly what I mean by what is inside a Tesla tyre. So a quick charging stop and we're ready to get back on the road. Oh, sorry about that. Sometimes you just gotta let one rip. Now that's actually something I love about this car. It's been designed with immature children in mind who just love to laugh at stupid fart noises. Arthur C. Clarke is quoted to have said that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And this car is a little piece of magic. As you can see, this is a company car, and I used that to convince myself that I needed a Tesla Model 3, because as electricians who specialise in electric vehicle charging points, I wanted to get myself into the mind of the customer, the mind of the new Tesla owner, the issues that they might face when it comes to charging up a vehicle. So I told myself this elaborate story of how I needed a Tesla Model 3 to understand my customers. But really, I just wanted this car. This beautiful machine is something that I'd been drooling over for many months, shall we say. Watching YouTube videos of people driving around in Tesla Model 3s, learning about everything to do with Tesla Model 3s, and I slowly brainwashed myself into getting one of these for myself. Now, as a bloke, this car made sense to me, but the ultimate test of any vehicle is the wife test. So I was a bit skeptical as to whether my dear wife Lisa would like this car or hate this car, or somewhere in between. It's totally different to anything she's ever driven before. She'd never even driven an automatic before. So how did she get on with this? Well, I've got to say that she picked it up like a duck to water, and now she absolutely loves this car. So before making this video, I did ask her, what does she love about it and what does she hate about it? And the things that she hates, I had completely forgotten about, but they're just these little niggly things with the tech that do wind her up from time to time. So one of them is, she comes out from the supermarket with bags full of shopping and she tries to open the car doors and it won't unlock. So then she has to put her bags down, get her phone out, unlock her phone, and then only then will it recognise the phone key and open the car. Okay, first world problems, you might say, but with such an amazing technical car like this, you would think that something as simple as the phone key would just work. And unfortunately, it doesn't always work. It's a little bit glitchy. The other thing that she said that winds her up is the fact that we have two driver profiles, Jordan and Lisa. And normally what should happen is when Lisa is in the car, it recognises that it's only her phone it's connected and it automatically adjusts the seat and sets everything up for her driver profile, but it never does. It never recognises her, it always thinks that it's me, and that winds her up slightly too. When I asked my wife what she loves about this car, I was surprised by her answer. She said, the speed. She absolutely loves the fact that she can put her foot down and the acceleration is just insane, which is one of the things that I love about this car too. So yes, my wife is a speed freak, but she loves that about this car. So in summary, do I regret getting a Tesla Model 3? No. I absolutely love this car. It is the best vehicle that I've ever driven, and despite all its quirks, I wouldn't change a thing. And I'll definitely be getting a Tesla again for my next car.